road to recovery starts when you sit down to write your resume. 2 News teams up with Montgomery County to help you get the edge over unemployment. Libby Kirsch is live with an expert who can help you write that winning resume. Libby?
All right, Michelle, thank you. Steve Alford from the Montgomery County Job and Family Services here with us again. Steve, thanks as always.
Thank you.
Let's start quickly with a word about why you need a good resume in the first place.
Well, Libby, as we spoke last week, your resume is often the first impression you get to make to a prospective employer. It is your personal marketing brochure. So you want to create the strongest resume possible. Now, not only does your resume tell a potential employer who you are, but it also tells them about your skills, knowledge, and abilities. So you want to make sure that you've pulled all that together and you've created, as I said, the strongest resume possible, because the purpose of that resume is to get that employer to know enough about you to invite you in for an interview.
All right, well, let's get to a question on a lot of people's minds. How do you handle your termination on your resume?
Well, again, you don't want to explain the circumstances of your termination on your resume. You want to deal with that in a face-to-face interview. If your job was a result of a layoff rather than performance-related, then you can consider mentioning that in your cover letter.
All right, let's talk about when you're actually writing the resume. Where should you put your educational background?
Well, you know, that depends on a couple things. If it was completed recently, less than 5 years ago, or it's been more than 5 years ago and you worked outside of the field in which you were educated, then you want to place your education near the top of your resume. Otherwise, that can be placed at the bottom.
Okay, sort of a basic question some people have. How long should they make their resume? Is longer better? You want 5 pages, 6?
No, you don't want that many for sure, but the general rule of thumb is 1 page. However, if there's something that you must include and or you have a lot of relevant experience and background, it can go up to 2 pages. Curriculum vitae, which is used by academics, is typically several pages long, as it includes a list of publications.
All right, let's talk about personal information. What do you do with that in the resume?
Personal information, you do not want to include that information in your resume. Your weight, your height, your age, your marital status, your religious background. It's not legal for an employer to request this information, so there's no need for you to include it in your resume.
All right, what about salary history? That's tricky for a lot of people.
It is. You know, if an employer requires a salary history, then you should include it as an addendum to your resume and your cover letter.
All right, how about expert advice? How do you handle that?
You know, you'll have many experts giving you advice, but you must produce a resume that represents you, that makes you proud, and that you can talk from. Listen to what everyone has to say, and then decide what you want to do.
All right, and then you can really never have too many people look over your resume before you send it out, right?
We talked about that earlier. No, don't forget to proofread your resume over and over and over again. Put it away for a day, take it out again, look over it, have somebody else review it as well. You'll pick up errors that you didn't see before.
All right, and then real quickly here, Steve, you got to keep that resume current.
You absolutely want it to be current. Keep it up to date. Even when you are employed and you have no intention of job hunting, add new skills, special projects, etc. You may not remember some important additions if you have to write a resume under pressure.
All right, good advice there, Steve, as always. Thanks for joining us
Thank
from
you
the
so
Department
much.
of Job and Family Services. For more information, you can call the Job Center at 225-JOBS. 2 News is the only local station with a weekly segment and an in-depth web section designed to get you on the road to recovery. Click on the button about halfway down our front page to see this interview again and to find dozens